Right, there we have it, an absolute thing of beauty. Harmony, welcome back to the channel. Fix It for Reselling. We are back with the Sharp VZ-3000 once again. Hopefully we're getting down to the last bits now. If you want to see what other fixes we've done on this machine, go back and see my previous videos. But today what we want to do, we want to check out the back stylus and cartridge, because it's playing the sound lower than the front. The front cartridge seems to be playing fine. Back one, it just seems to be low. If you want to see that, I'm not going to demonstrate it now because it's in my other videos. It's in the end of my last video. You can go back and watch that. I'll put a link in. So in this episode, we're just going to swap the cartridges over from back to front and from front to back. So let's get on with this. Right, firstly, we'll get the door open. Just lower that down. Right, we'll plug it in and switch it on. And what we can do over here on the controls, we can press the button to move the arms, the cartridges forward across the track. So we just press that button. See the cartridges are moving over, and then they'll flick up. So it's easier to change the styluses and cartridges, although I'm now going to disconnect the plug from it because I'm going to be taking these off. So pull the plug out, the solenoid will turn off and the arms will go back in. But if you press the solenoid, that makes the arms come back out again. Right, so we need to look at how we actually get this off. We have got a little screw in there. I did change the styluses over in the last video. I think this screwdriver will be too small. It's very wobbly with the weight up the top here. So I'm probably going to get my arms in the way of the camera. I think this screwdriver is probably too small. That will just right. So just trying to hold it at the back, the arms in the way. So I'm just undoing this screw here in case you can't see where my arm is. Hoping this will be the easier way to get the cartridge out and the wires off. Take that screw out before I lose it. Right, so usually you do have markings on the back of the stylus to tell you what colour wire goes where. But I'm just going to rest that in place now. I'm just going to take a picture of these wires. I think it's like green. Can't even see what that is. Green, blue, yellow, red. I think that's what it is. But we'll get in there, we'll take a picture of that. Right, and I think these wires now just slide off of here. Hopefully, just going to use a pair of tweezers just to see if I can lever these up. Trouble is, I don't want to snap the wire. I'm going to pop the stylus out so I don't damage that. So that, yeah, the front pops up. So with the stylus, you just pop the front up and it pulls off forward. So that's that there. Keep that safe. There, red wire's already come off. So these are super thin, these wires. But, you know, maybe that's what our problem is. Maybe that red wire was already loose. So that was a red one I just got off of there. That's why that's fallen down. Now you can't see what I'm doing probably. I'm just trying to lever these up gently. there. And there we go, we've got it off. So somehow I'm going to have to solder that red wire back onto the pin. But that could be what our problem was. So I've just got the multimeter out into continuity mode, and we can actually see if these wires are making a connection from down here up to the board. So that's our yellow wire I'm on there. So we go up to yellow up here. That is connecting with yellow and none of the others. Then we got this one, which is our purpley coloured one. So we've got two of them up here. And what is that, our green? So that one's actually coming up in a few places. So they are getting up there. So I mean, they might both be black actually. It's probably two blacks, a yellow and a red. So a couple of grounds, a yellow and a red. So on the back of here, I don't know whether you can see. Let's zoom in on up the top. So it actually says plus up the top, then left and right down the bottom. Can we see what's on the front one from up here? No, we can't quite see the colours on here. Well, just taking a picture on my phone, you can see it is wired up the same. You've got the purple and the green on the front two, then the yellow and the red at the back. So that's wired up the same as the back one. So let me try and fix this little pin back to the red one. This will be fun, it's minute. Right, I've just taken enough of the rubber off of there now. Off the insulation, just so I can probably get the wire back on it. So I'm just going to put that in my jaws. Right, I'm just going to tin this up, just want to get a little bit of solder on there. What I'll do is just a tiny bit of solder on there. So when I offer the wire up to it, that should stick on it nicely. Yeah, not sure whether you can see that well, but there's just got a tiny ball of solder on there. Tiny bit on the end, but that wire is so small. You can see compared with my finger how thin this is, how small this is. Now I've just got to try and get the red wire to solder to it without doubting all the others. Right, that is on there. Let's check the continuity of it. So I'll stick that in there. Where's the red one? Oh, there we go, we have got continuity on there now. So yeah, before I put some heat shrink tubing on there, let's just connect this back up just in case that red wire was already coming loose. So let's put that yellow one on first. Yellow one at the back. Red one that side. And purple to the left. So if you can't see what I'm doing, I'll show you afterwards. And green to the right. Let's get that screw back in there now. Don't want to do that too tight. We put our stylus back on. Clip that into place. Right, let's turn this on now, see if that has made any difference. Probably not, but we'll find out. Side A, how loud are you going to be? Move that along a bit, let's see what it's... There we go, that's quite loud. Let's flip it over to the back. See how loud's that going to be. That is still quiet. Nowhere near as loud. We've got left and right. We have our left and right channels okay. But it is quiet. Back to side A. Much, much louder. So we still have a problem. So let's swap the cartridges. We've got it out. And this one's slightly different. This one's all metal compared with that back one. It's all plastic. So let me just pop the back one off and then we'll swap them over. Oh, that's a screw back in there. Don't know matter which stylus we put on. There we go, that is in and on. Do we need to put the back one on? Will it freak out if the back one's not on? Of course this one's silver, it'll be a metal because that's the one you see out the front of the machine. This is the nice looking one. Plastic one at the back you never see, so that's why this is silver and the other one's plastic, or metal and plastic. Right, they're in. Let's plug it back in. Needles go back. Record. So we'll do it the same as last time. We'll have the black label to the front. Close that door. Oh, hold it up. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Didn't put the stylus back in there, did I? Didn't put the stylus on the back one. Fool. Right, back there you go. Let's put our record on, shut the door. It won't shut until they're fully back anyway. And that sounds fine. That sounds pretty loud. Side B. Well, the left channel's loud, right channel is weak. What is that all about? Now the left channel's weak. Now the left channel's quiet. What is going on there? What is happening? Side A. Let's move the arm forward like we did with the back. Left channel, right channel, left. Both channels are sounding fine. So what is wrong with the back cartridge? Because it all goes to the same circuit. I think we're going to have to pull the record deck out and investigate again. Right, so we do now, our cartridges are fine. Right, so here is our schematics for the part of the circuit that's got the cartridges on. So here you've got the side A cartridge and side B cartridge. Side B, side A. As you can see, they've both got a neutral that gets joined up there, neutral that gets joined up there, and then you can see them that they go through these connectors. So side A, we've got it going into a 3-pin connector. So basically 2 is that is your negative connection there, and obviously you then got your left and right channels, which you can see come across to here, A and B. Sorry, not A and B, your left and right. And then again, same again. If you follow your B side cartridge, they're connected up here. That goes into pin 2 for the negative, and 1 and 3 is like your left and right channels. So that comes in through this connector, and if we follow these wires down, you can see 2 comes into here. If we follow that, pin 2, the negative. That's coming into here. It joins up there. So basically that is joining up with the negatives of cartridge A. And then we also have our left and right channels. So 3 is, call it our left channel. That comes in here, and you can see that comes up and connected in here. And again, channel 1, pin 1 or connection 1, that'll be our right channel, and that comes down to here. So this A and this B corresponds to our cartridge A, cartridge B, and these pins in here are left and right channels. So this, if we follow this dotted line up here, you can see it's going to this relay 11. So what this is doing, it's basically switching over. When you go to the cartridge B, it's basically this switches on these relays are just flicking down, so the switch is shut to B. So both styluses, both cartridges of side A and B are going all into the same circuitry. So we know we've got the wires connected in here everywhere. Let's clear this up a bit. Right, so we know all our wires are being joined up in here, this relay 11. And this is the switch here that when you're on cartridge A, they'll be up on those contacts. And then when you switch to cartridge B, the switch will flick in the relay. Damn, what just clicked on there. So then when we switch over to side B, this relay will then switch these switches over to B. And it's all running through the same circuit. So there must be a problem in this relay somewhere. Either the relay's not switching over or it's dirty. Right, so I just brought up another page of the schematics. This schematic download is one of the worst ones I've seen. So looking, this is our actual board view of the back of the board that's on the back of the record deck. It is up round the wrong way, I think. But if we look at over here, this CMP12, up here you can see that is our 3-pin connector. So that's where that comes in, and then you'll see 3 other connections here, which is for our cartridge B. I'm not sure whether I've got enough of the screenshot down here. No, it's this connector down here, which is that other 6-pin connector we were looking at. That has got some other controls coming into it, plus our red, white, or what looks like yellow on our wiring. But it's red, white, and neutral. But yeah, anyway, that is coming in up to here. So this is basically our connections for cartridge A, this is our connections for cartridge B, and this is our relay that they're going into. There, and then you can see, if I can zoom in a bit more, this is awful, this schematics, it's such a bad copy. So you can see, this is our relay, and inside there is our A and B, and the 2 little switches there. There's our little switches, there's our B, there's our A. So this is a switch that needs to switch over to play side B, and this is the only thing that I can think is wrong now, unless any of these connections are a bit knackered, but I doubt it. So let's have a look at this board in the back of the record player. Right, so here's the part of the circuit we were looking at just now on the schematics, although it is rotated 180 degrees. So this is the relay that these all go into. So this top one here is cartridge A, and then underneath it is like thick blue wire where you got the red and white and the ground going. That's cartridge B. So this is where both our cartridges are coming in, and then they're going into this relay. So if let's play the record now. Where are we? Play. Right, so side A. Let's turn it up. Right, so that's side A. Let's move the balance to the right, to the left. So those 2 speakers seem okay, left and right channel seem okay. So now let's go to side B again, which is what we're having the trouble with. Right, now it sounds like we have got 1 channel that's working better. The right channel is pretty much non-existent. Left channel is quite loud at the moment. So let's leave it on the left channel. And if we move our relay, if we move the wires first, I'll use a pair of tweezers so you can see what I'm moving. Which, that's not going to do anything, because it's cartridge A. So these wires we've got behind here, on this blue cable, this is cartridge B. Wiggling them wires, don't really do much. So then our relay, we wiggle our relay, and the sound is cutting out. So I think we've definitely got something wrong with our relay, whether it's the solder connections underneath. Let me turn it down. Actually, let's go. Right, if we go to our right channel though, that is still dead quiet. It's coming out slightly, but wiggling this isn't making our right channel come back. So we're going to have to take this board off. We'll either take the, see if we can get the top off this relay and clean the switches in there. Otherwise we might have to take this board off and have a look at the soldering on the back. So what we're going to do, we'll see if we can get this cover off of here. Let's stop everything and turn it off. We'll see if we can get the cover off the relay and clean that first. And if that makes no difference, we're going to probably take the record deck out again, take this board off and check the solder connections and everything on the back, make sure the traces and everything are fine, and check our connections. So let's just see if we can get the cover off this relay. Just turn everything off and unplug it, because down at the bottom under here is where all your high voltage is. That's your mains coming in there, so you do not want to put your hand anywhere near that when it's plugged in. That could kill you. 240 volts flowing through your body. Alright, so I'm probably going to get my hands in the way again now, but we need to see if we can get this relay off. So let's just take this out of here a minute. Just take the side A cartridge tab out. Hopefully we can get a bit more room. It does look like there's little tabs at the side, but this is on here so tight. Get a little gap up the top. Right, we're going to take the deck out again. It's going to be much easier to try and get to this, and if I have to, then I can check the back. Right, so we've got it out of its case now. So here we've got a little relay. Just going to use a bit of an old Stanley knife blade or craft knife blade, and I want to get in. If you can see, just there are like little tabs that hopefully should lift up. So all I want to try and do is just get that in under there, because it is a tight fit by the look of it, and I think that has just done it. I think that has just released that. Hang on, let me put this down flat again. Try and keep it in view. Yeah, so that side's up. So just going to peel off now. No, just pull it off. So there we go, that's our top off of there. Put that safe. Right, so here we have our little switches. One side is doing cartridge A, and the other one is doing cartridge B. So there must be like a little switch in there somewhere that makes these arms either touch the bottom ones. I think they're automatically down on those bottom ones, and then maybe something makes them flick up to the top. Yes, because looking on the schematics, it says there's two switches for like obviously your left and right channel. So we got a left and right is fine on side A, and then our left is kind of okay on side B now and again. When we wiggled this side A was like, or the left channel was up and down, but it wasn't doing anything for side B. Now I can't see why wiggling the lid would make that touch. Maybe it's a bit dirty under there. You can't really tell. Right, so to clean these switches, you're not really going to get any cotton bud under there, but if you get a piece of paper, a bit like cleaning the heads on a VHS, just going to spray this with some IPA, some isopropyl alcohol. Right, so hopefully we can get this piece of paper soaked in IPA under the switch there. Give it a clean. You can see, hopefully you can see all that dirt that's coming off there already. Try and poke it under this other side as well. Yeah, look at the dirt on that. I'm not quite sure which one of these is doing left and which one's doing right, but they're definitely dirty there. Let's give that a spray in there. Won't hurt by spraying IPA in there, it'll all dry out. It all evaporates naturally. Just don't want to leave the paper in there. So that is definitely looking a lot cleaner. I mean, the other contacts, I presume, are underneath this part. Let's spray a bit of contact cleaner in there. This is fast drying contact cleaner. It's by them. So do not use the normal WD-40. Make sure it's a contact cleaner one. WD-40 would just leave residue everywhere. Whereas this one will dry out just like IPA. Right, let's put the lid back on for now. It'll all dry out in there eventually. It'll all evaporate. While I've got this out, I might as well just try and flip this board over. Just look at the solder connections on the bottom of there. Which isn't going to be easy because this board doesn't move much. Just looking down in here at the solder joints. Nothing's wiggling. Can't see any of the pins moving. All the tracks look fine. So maybe if cleaning this relay doesn't fix it, we might need a new relay switch. Just going to turn the soldering iron on though, and we're going to touch up them joints. Touch up the joints on the back of the edge, put a bit of fresh soldering. Alright, so just touching these connections up. All connections redone, no bridging. Let's put it back together and see what happens. And what will happen now? Oh. Turn the volume up without. Volume's okay. Left and right's okay. Over to side B. Will this make any difference? Wobbling the relay's not doing much. What have we got right and left? Nothing on the right. It's all on the left, nothing on the right. Just going to unplug it. See if we can get the cover off that relay. See if we can see what's happening in there. Right, so we have just got it coming out the right channel at the minute. It's the only channel we've got set up. Or we've moved the balance, so it's just on the right channel. Let's see if I can kind of like get you in there close enough. This wire's in the way. Yeah, just touched it now, look. Trying to get that out of the way a minute. It's basically this switch on the left. This is flicked up. I'm blocking all the light. So this flicked up to make contact with the top one, which is where we cleaned, but was absolutely filthy dirty. You can see if I join those two together, we'll just put the top down a bit. We've got our right channel back. So it's definitely dirty contacts. It is just a dirty switch. Right, let's stop that and power it off a minute. So we know now that it's definitely that relay in there. So I've just got it all unplugged again. Let's give this a little bit more of a clean up. So let's try again. IPA and a bit of paper. Try and clean the contact behind as well. There's definitely still a bit of dirt in there. So I need to try and get to the underside of that switch, just try and give it a bit of a clean. Right, I'm sure you've seen me cleaning enough switches now. Let's get on to the next bit. Right, so we've given this a good clean up now. Side A, or cartridge A, cartridge B. See, I can flick this relay on and off just by touching the pins. Just as the song finishes on that side. So turn the volume up. That's our right speaker. That's our left speaker. Back to the middle. So that's all working fine. We're on side A now, so we can tap them.
Now just go for it.
Just turn it down a bit. Hopefully you can still hear it. But we can tap them now, nothing's happening. That's side A. So both left and right speakers are connected. So that's all clean in there now. Hopefully that will do. So we can just put the cover back onto it now.
Well, it'd be like
Get that wire out of the way.
little baby, I think, you know. Yeah.
Get the cover back on there. Hopefully that will keep the dirt out there for a bit longer. That's the relay done. Right, now the last thing we're going to do is change this LED diode. We bought a little pack, 10 different coloured light LEDs. We've got our red, green, blue, yellow, white, orange, purple, pink, yellow, green and warm white. So we're going to put a warm white one in here. This whole pack for a couple of hundred pieces, I think. What was it? 400 pieces. It was a £5. £5 off Amazon. God knows whether they're any good. Let's turn a couple of lights out a minute. Let's plug it in. So that's our sort of little white LED we put in there before. The little one we hacked together. And we're going to add this warm white one on. There, a little warm white one. It's probably not going to be, I don't think it's going to produce much light, but we'll see. Let's get that changed quick. I won't film it because you can watch the other video and see how we put this LED in there. We're done with that now. Put that back in. So hopefully you can see we've just threaded our LED light through the sort of rubber grommet we had before. Put some heat shrink tubing on that. We've also put some heat shrink tubing on this wire. Left this one bare with the resistor on there because that's a bit harder to get the heat shrink on, but because we've got it over here, nothing's gonna come in contact there, so we can just sort of keep our wires up there out of the way. Squeeze them in there. No wires are going to touch. We'll get the cover back on there. You can see the light coming down. I don't know, it looks a bit greeny more. I don't know, yellowy. It kind of like matches the other lights that are on here now. More of a warm white. So hopefully that'll be good. So I think we are just about done with this now. It's just a case of putting it all back together, I think. So let's do that and we'll show you at the end. I think we're done. Right, there we have it, an absolute thing of beauty. It's all back together. Tape's playing fine. Got our levels up now. Got a bit of light reflected on here. Hopefully you can see it all nicely. Right, we've got the cover back on the door. Perspex is back on it. Opens fine, our light's still on. Even with the extra weight of the Perspex door, it's closing. Let's go over to the phono. So hopefully you can see the light shining down the bottom, just lights up the bottom half. And that's it, it's all playing fine. Stop the tape. All our controls are back together down the bottom. Got our balance, left speaker, right speaker. All work, we've got a bass and treble down here. all working. No crunching, all the controls have been cleaned. And there we have it. Just wish I had the proper speakers for it. Right, now I do have one of the proper speakers for it. You probably can't even see that in there. Let me just try and balance it at the side. Well, that's it. That's one of the speakers for it. It's the same, you know, same colour. It's exactly the same height. It's got the same bottom. So you have a speaker either side. It's absolutely magic. I got one of them at an auction. Unfortunately, they only had the one. I don't even know if this works yet because I've never plugged it in. But yeah, I just want to get the speakers that match with this, and it would look amazing. But these speakers are hard to come by. Units you can pretty much find everywhere, but the speakers a bit more harder to get hold of. So I mean, it'll probably be getting sold just as it is. But that's it. It's all up and running. It's all working. So if you like this little series of videos, getting this all up and running, getting it repaired, changing the belts, problems with the relay and side B of the record, just cleaned it, got it all working. So please give us a comment. Please like the video, share it, and yeah, we'll see if we can find something new to do in the next one. Thanks for watching.